In 167 AD, Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, was fighting a war on the Danube frontier, managing a plague that was killing 5 million of his people and watching his most trusted general betray him, all at the same time. If you have ever felt like everything is collapsing at once, the job, the relationships, the pressure from every direction, and you cannot figure out how to hold yourself together without losing who you actually are, stay with this video. By the end, you will have one rule, the exact rule Marcus wrote to himself that night, and it will change how you respond the next time your life tries to break you. He was the most powerful man on earth. He did not feel powerful. He wrote about it in secret. Nobody was supposed to read it. You are about to. Marcus Aurelius became Emperor of Rome in 161 AD. He did not want the position. He was a philosopher who was drafted into power by the Emperor Hadrian, who saw something in him that most politicians don't have, a complete absence of ambition for power itself. He spent his reign fighting the Parthian Wars in the east, fighting the Marcomannic Wars on the Danube for a decade, managing the Antonine Plague, which killed 5 million Romans, dealing with the betrayal of his co-emperor Lucius Verus, watching his own son Commodus become everything he had spent his life arguing against. All of this, and every night he wrote philosophy, not to publish, not to teach, to remind himself who he was trying to be when the empire was trying to make him someone else. The meditations were not written for you. This is the first thing to understand. Marcus was not writing philosophy for posterity. He was writing corrections to himself, specific, targeted reminders about the gap between who he was trying to be and who he kept failing to be. Here is what that means for you. Every line in the meditations is Marcus Aurelius catching himself failing and writing down what he should have done instead. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He is not telling you this, he is telling himself, because he forgot it today, because the empire made him forget it today, and tomorrow he will try to remember. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. He wrote this on the Danube frontier while the Germanic tribes were pressing against his legions and the plague was killing his soldiers. He is not writing inspiration. He is writing a survival manual for the worst possible version of his life. And it works. 5 teachings from the meditations, each one written by a man who was failing to live it at the time of writing. Teaching 1. You have power over your mind, not outside events. He wrote this during a plague that killed millions. He could not stop the plague. He could choose how to govern inside it. Teaching 2. The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. He wrote this when betrayed by people he trusted. He chose not to become what betrayed him. Teaching 3. Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. He wrote this after a day of political argument that produced no virtue and consumed enormous time. Teaching 4. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. 2 sentences, the entire ethics of the Roman Empire, reduced to what fits on 2 lines of a wax tablet. Teaching 5. Accept the things to which fate binds you. He wrote this about Commodus. He could not make his son good. He could choose to continue being good himself.
Marcus Aurelius never solved the problem. He solved it again every day. That is not failure. That is what the practice actually is. Here is where this lands in your life right now. If you are dealing with anxiety, the kind that hits at 3 a.m. and tells you that everything is about to fall apart, Marcus was dealing with that. The plague was real. The war was real. His wax tablet was his 3 a.m. practice. He wrote down the fear. He named it. He separated what he could control from what he couldn't. Then he slept. If you are struggling with discipline, the gap between who you want to be and who you manage to be each day, Marcus had that gap too. He wrote about it every night. The gap is not the problem. Pretending the gap doesn't exist is the problem. If someone at work or in your personal life has let you down, Marcus was betrayed by his co-emperor, by generals he trusted, by his own son. His rule was this: the best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. Not forgiveness, not rage. Continuing to be yourself while they become what they became. The one rule: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Write it down, tonight, not as inspiration, as the correction Marcus wrote to himself on the worst night of his worst year, because it is still true, and it still works.
Marcus Aurelius died in 180 AD on the Danube frontier, still on campaign, still writing. The Meditations were found after his death. He never gave them a title. He never prepared them for publication. He never told anyone they existed. 1,900 years later, they are the most widely read work of ancient philosophy in the world. Not because he tried to make them that, because he tried to make himself better. Every single day, in the most difficult circumstances available to a human being. Honestly. The tablet was private. The honesty made it permanent. Subscribe. Next, Epictetus, the slave who became free while he was still in chains.